graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on barrel. Get out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
What is going on, everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very, very fantastic day. Welcome on in to another edition of MLB DiamondZone. 6 diamonds are active right now. All right, hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. Shout out to everybody that is over here. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We have a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot to catch you up with. First and foremost, okay, we got this Rangers game on in the bottom of the 9th inning. It is a 4-2 lead for the Minnesota Twins, and Langford is facing Gomez, who's going to try to shut the door. And his first pitch that he throws is outside. It's a 3-2 count, excuse me. The Angels, okay, the Angels right now, as we take a look at that game, Angels game is right over here. So the Angels, as we have to refresh our 3D, 1 second, there we go. The Angels are in the top of the 3rd, and they have a runner over at third base. All right, so there's 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning out in Texas. Ian Happ is also up at the plate with the bases loaded for the Chicago Cubs. That game is in the bottom of the 7th inning, and he's coming up with the bases loaded. Nick Kurtz hit a 2-run home run. They lead it 3-0 the A's in the bottom of the 2nd, and there's 2 outs. And then, oh, by the way, you got the Dodgers underway as well. Wow. What a game. What a night in Major League Baseball. All right, so first, let's stick to Ian Happ's at-bat. Happ is up with 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the 7th, and also we'll keep our eye on Nimmo as well. So Ian Happ's second pitch is taken for a ball. Brandon Nimmo is up, and he fouls it off. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Nimmo. Again, the Rangers are down to their final 2 outs. And Ian Happ is up with the bases loaded. It's 2-1 Cubs, bottom of the 7th. With 1 away. They are playing against the Rockies. Here's the pitch, and that is grounded over towards shortstop by Nimmo. The throw to first is in time. 1 more out to go in the Texas Rangers game. Okay, 1 second. Where are we? 1-2 pitch to Happ, and that is up high for a ball. The Tigers are also playing against the Astros. It's a 6-3 game. That is in the top of the 7th. Two outs, bottom of the 9th, and Jake Berger is up, and his first pitch is taken for a strike. Happ's next pitch, swing and a miss, and he strikes out, 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. So Ian Happ is down on strikes. Let's make sure that we have this up. I think we forgot about that one. Fine, it is what it is. There we go. So Nico Horner is up at the plate, and the first pitch swing and a miss. Cole Keith, it's a 2-run home run for the Detroit Tigers, and they lead it 8-3 in the top of the 7th inning out in Houston. Wow. He's been hitting the ball very well. He might get moved at the deadline. He really might. No balls, 2 strikes to Nico Horner. And it's 1-2 to Jay Berger. Final strike for the Rangers. The 1-2 on the way to Berger. Swing and a miss, and the ball game is over out in Texas. The Texas Rangers lose to the Minnesota Twins by a final score of 4-2 out in Arlington. The 0-2 pitch to Horner, and that is down for a ball. Ohtani flies one out to deep right field, but that's going to be caught for out number 1 in the Dodgers game. And so there's one away in the bottom of the first. All right, so that means that we can get this game up over here. That's good. Horner's next pitch, swing and a miss. The Cubs can't do anything, and they go to the top of the 8th inning. They're still up by a run, but Happ and Horner strike out with the bases loaded. All right, so I guess I could get rid of this. Nice. Didn't even have to look at this. All right, so there's 5 games left. Again, the the Texas Rangers just lost to the Minnesota Twins. The final score of that game, by the way, was 4-2. Rogers got the win. Gore got the loss. Gore's now 4-6 on the season. Buxton, Peterson, and Bell each homered in that ball game. And so that's what happened there. Okay, so we got 5 diamonds still active right now. And we will go and spring around the bush. I don't know what that means. So the Tigers lead at 8-3. The Angels and the Diamondbacks are tied 1-1. Here's the Tigers game. Here is the A's game. A's are actually up 3-0 as they go to the top of the 3rd. Let's put that game up over here too. Where is that? There it is. Got all the 3Ds up and running. There we go. Good stuff. So bottom of the 3rd out in Arizona. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. This is Troy, who is up to bat in the bottom of the 3rd. You also have Freeman up to bat for the LA Dodgers with 2 away in the bottom of the 1st. And Freeman fouled off the first pitch. And then you got the Tigers, who lead it by 5. We'll keep you updated with that game. McKinstry is going to fly one out over to center field, and the catch is made, so there's 2 outs out in Houston. Troy grounds one over to third base, and the throw over to first is in plenty of time, and there's out number 1 out in Arizona. So the Cubs lead at 2-1. That game's in the top of the 8th, and Freeman is going to line one down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Tyler Freeman is going to get on with a leadoff single in the top of the 8th inning for the Colorado Rockies. And he represents the tying run. Freeman for the Dodgers in the batter's box, and he fouls off the next pitch. Timeout taken in the Cubs game, and they're going to make a pitch and change. And then for the Diamondbacks, we have Ketel Marte, who's up to bat. His count is 1-1. The count to Freeman is 1-2. The count to Marte is 1-2. And the count to Outman is 3-0. Outman's 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Outman is now on the Tigers. Freeman's pitch, he flies this one out to left field, and the Dodgers and the Rays are going to go to the top of the 2nd. The Rays put up 2 runs in the 1st, and they will go to the top of the 2nd inning up by 2. Marte grounds one over towards 2nd, and the throw to 1st is in plenty of time, and there's out number 1. Out number 2 over there, I should say. Outman still up for the Tigers. It's 3-2 to him. The payoff pitch. and he smacks one out over towards center field, but it'll be caught. And the Tigers and the A's, the Astros, that is, are going to go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's an 8-3 ball game. So, a couple of games and a break. And now Perdomo is up to bat for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Remember, it's tied 1-1 over there. We'll put that game up right now. Here it is. Marte is facing Urena. 1-0 pitch. That misses down for ball 2. So it's 2 balls and no strikes to Geraldo Perdomo. And then in the A's game, it's a 3-0 game. That is in the bottom of the 3rd. The 2 to Perdomo, and he's going to fly one out over towards center field, but that'll be caught. And the Diamondbacks and the Angels are going to go to the top of the 4th. So one game is still in action right now. And then the other ones will be back after their breaks. And that is the A's game. Brian Reynolds for the Pirates swings and misses at the first pitch. And his count is 0-1. I don't know why. What the heck? What the heck? You guys see the Pittsburgh Pirates player? What the heck? He's just standing on home plate. Oh, somebody take a picture of that. Is that Brian Reynolds? He's like a statue. The Rockies are back on. Oh, that's so funny. All right, Rockies have TJ Rumfield up to bat. His count is 0-2. Again, there's a runner over at first. Caleb Thielbar is pitching. This is a pivotal inning for the Colorado Rockies. They want to try to tie the game back. Again, we just saw the Rangers down to their final 3 outs, and they just lost to the Twins. The 0-2 pitch to Rumfield. That's outside for a ball. The Rays are also back on. Eric Lauer is pitching for the Dodgers, and he falls behind in the count 1-0. And it's still 1-2 to Brian Reynolds. The pitch to Rumfield, swing and a miss, and Thielbar gets a big strikeout, 1 away. Wow, that is hilarious. The guy that's up for the Rays is Austin Slater. His count is 1-1. And it's still 2-2 to Reynolds. Slater flies one out to left field. That'll get down for a base hit, and the Tampa Bay Rays are starting to hit against the Dodgers. That's good. Leadoff single for them. Goodman is due up to bat for the Rockies. He's 2 for 3 today with a pair of singles. And his first pitch is taken for a ball. So it's 1 ball, no strikes to Hunter Goodman. And the 1-0 pitch is taken just a bit inside for ball 2. Dude, that was hilarious. So 2 balls and no strikes. With 1 out, the 2-0 pitch. And that is down for ball 3. And for the Rays, it's Cedric Mullins who's up. Again, that game is still early. That's in the top of the 2nd. The Pirates get Reynolds on base with 2 outs and 2 runners on. And they'll bring the tying run on up to the plate. Again, they're down 3-0 against the A's. That's still in the top of the 3rd. Astros are down by 5. The count is 2-2 to Christian Vasquez. That's in the bottom of the 7th. They trail against the Tigers. And then you got Troy Johnston up to bat for the Rockies. And on the first pitch, he flies one out over towards center field. Pete is there, though, and he'll make the catch for the 2nd out of the 8th inning. So the Rockies still have 2 runners on with 2 away in the top of the 8th. And they'll have their next man come on up to the plate. The Rays also have 2 runners on with nobody out in the top of the 2nd. A lot of drama going on tonight. Keep up with everything. Ryan O'Hearn for the Pirates is up, and O'Hearn swings and misses at the changeup, so it's 1-1 to him. For the Rockies, it's Carrick that's up with 2 away. The tying run for them is at second. And the go-ahead run's over at first. The first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 to Carrick. The pitch. That's a high fly ball. That's hit out to left field, and that ball is crushed. The Rockies jump the Cubs 4-2. How about Carrick just launching missiles out at Wrigley? That crowd is silent. That was on a silver platter to him. Rays have runners over at second and third. Taylor Walls is up to bat, and his count is 2-0. There's one out there in the top of the second. Man, Carrick just carried that baseball a long ways. Astros did just get Jeremy Pena on base. 2-0 pitch to Walls, and that's in there for a strike. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Pirates, just to follow up on that end of the story, they couldn't get a run home, and they're going to go to the bottom of the third. They had 2 runners on base. The man just struck out. That was O'Hearn. The 2-1 to Walls. They'll show bunt. They'll bunt it over towards the first base side. Runner's going to come on home. They'll get the run. The throw to first is in time. It's a 3-0 lead for the Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays lead it 3-0. Theobar, by the way, got the final outs. And the Cubs are going to go to the bottom of the 8th inning, now down by 2, thanks to that one swing by Carrick. All right. 2 outs, top of the second. Yandy Diaz is up to bat. And a runner over at third base. Lauer gets set above the belt. The 1-0 pitch, that's in there for a called strike. The Astros have a runner over at first. Again, they're down by 5. Yordan Alvarez just got out. Or actually, wait, he went back to the dugout. And there's going to be a pitching change there. Excuse me. So, Christian Walker's going to be up to bat. They ended up getting Yordan out. So they'll be back in a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike to Yandy Diaz. The Rays are scoring early against the Dodgers. And the 2-1 is fouled off. Welcome on into Diamond Zone. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We just threw you guys into the fire. It's 2-2 to Diaz. Two outs, a runner over at third. Lauer kicks, deals, and it's outside for a ball. So again, the Rockies lead at 4-2 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Angels and the Diamondbacks, they're tied 1-1. The Rays lead at 3-0. That's in the top of the second. And then you got the Pirates down 3-0 in the bottom of the third. And the Astros trailing by 5. And that's in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Diaz, grounded over towards short. And the throw over to first is in plenty of time. Muncy, it's actually Betts Muncy. And they're going to be coming on up to bat when they go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. All right, for the Rockies, they're back on. Victor Vodnik is going to pitch. Jacob Wilson is also up to bat for the Athletics. His count is 2-1. They just started off the bottom of the 3rd. And it's also 2-1 to Corbin Carroll. Wilson's going to fly one out over to left field, but that'll stay in the ballpark, and Reynolds will make the catch, and there's out number 1. The 2-1 pitch to Corbin Carroll, and that is smacked out to right field for a base hit. Corbin Carroll gets on for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he'll stay over at first. Meanwhile, bottom of the 8th for Victor Vodnik and the Colorado Rockies, and the first pitch will be in there for a strike. Will Vest is also pitching for the Tigers, and he's facing Christian Walker. Walker on the first pitch grounds it over to third, and the throw over to first is in time, and the inning is over. Okay, so that does it for the Astros, and they will go to the 8th inning. A lot to keep up with. The Cubs got their leadoff man aboard, and the tying run is going to come on up to the plate for them. All right. Carlos Cortez up for the A's. His count is 2-1. The pitch, and that's down and away for a ball in the Cubs game. Carroll just stole second base, and the throw is wild, and Corbin Carroll's going to go over to third for the Diamondbacks. Wow. Matt Shaw is up for the Chicago Cubs, and his pitch is in there for a strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll keep you updated with the A's game, but we're making a double diamond with these 2 games, the Diamondbacks game and the Cubs game. 1 ball, no strikes to Marino for the Diamondbacks, and the 1-0 is in there for a strike. Shaw just looked at strike 2 for the Cubs. Betts just doubled down the left field line for the Dodgers. Again, they're in the bottom of the second. 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be grounded over to shortstop, and the throw over to first is in time. In the Diamondbacks game, Carroll's still over at third. The pitch in the Cubs game, Shaw's going to ground one over to second. The throw to shortstop, there's one. The throw to first, and he beats out the throw. 1 away out in Chicago. Wow, so much drama. Hey, guess who's back for the Diamondbacks? Lawrence Gurriel Jr. I wonder if the Phillies would be interested in going after him at the deadline. Gurriel's going to fly one out over to right field. That'll get down for a hit. Carroll's going to come on home, and the Diamondbacks take a 2-1 lead. Oh, boy. Look at those Rockies. Obviously, the Diamondbacks just scored. Here is Michael Conforto up at the plate for the Cubs. Runner over at first, 1 out, bottom of the 8th, and the pitch is inside by Vodnik for ball 1. Arenado just popped one up out over towards straightaway center, but the catch is made by Trout, and there's 2 away out in Arizona. Conforto's 1-0 pitch, and that is called a strike. If you have Kevin McGonigal, he's also up to bat, and his count is 2-2 in the Tigers game. And he stayed alive. Diamondbacks are going to end the bottom of the 4th inning, but they got the lead on an RBI opposite field single by Lawrence Gurriel Jr. So then they're going to go to the 5th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Conforto. He's the tying run for the Cubs, and the 1-2 pitch is upstairs for ball 2. Now the Dodgers have runners over at first and second, and Kyle Tucker is up to bat. And there's still nobody out in LA. The 2-2 to Conforto. That's down for ball 3. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. McGonigal flied out over to left. So that probably didn't help you if you had him in fantasy. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Conforto. Bottom of the 8th. The payoff pitch up high for ball 4, and now the go-ahead run is going to come on up, and it'll be Pete Crow Armstrong for the Cubs. We got the game on. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kyle Tucker in the Dodgers game. The pitch, swing and a miss. It's now 2-2. I'll put the Dodgers name over here. Tigers just got a man on. I don't even know who that was. Is that Gleyber Torres? Jahmai Jones, maybe. Could have been Jahmai Jones. Now Jones is up to bat now. Whoever's batting second for them. So who's batting second? Gleyber Torres. I was right. Oh wait, no, it was Lee. HOU Lee. Still 2-2 to Kyle Tucker. And Pete Crow Armstrong is going to come on up to bat for the Chicago Cubs. Drama going on everywhere. Tucker's 2-2. Fouled away. Pete today has hit for the cycle. Pete has hit for the cycle today. He's 4 for 4. The pitch to Pete, and that is going to be lined foul. That hit off the first base coach. Oh, no. He said he's okay. The 2-2 to Tucker, and that's down for ball 3. The Dodgers have the tying run up at the plate. That's only in the bottom of the 2nd, though. They're playing against Tampa Bay. The 0-1 to Pete. That's outside for a ball. Pivotal inning here for the Chicago Cubs. The 3-2 to Tucker. That's a high fly ball hit out to deep right field, and that ball is gone. The Dodgers tie it up on one swing of the bats. Pete's pitch. That's outside. That gets away from the catcher. 2 runners in scoring position for the Cubs. Kyle Tucker just hit a laser beam out to right field for the Dodgers. They're tied at 3. Jeez. I wonder if you walk Pete here. 2 balls, 1 strike to Pete Crow Armstrong. And the 2-1 pitch, and he fouls it off. Get you updated on the other games. Pirates actually have a runner over at first, and Rodriguez is up for them. But first, Pete Crow Armstrong's 2-2 pitch is coming on up, and he will call for time. What a game. Ward for the Dodgers is going to line one out over towards left field, and that ball is gone. They call it a foul ball? Looks like that it hit off the foul ball. They might challenge that. Wonder if they'll challenge that. Let's see. Pitch to Pete. That's a ground ball hit over towards second base. They're going to get 1 run home. The throw on over to first is in time. That was actually, a sacrifice fly. Regardless, it's a 4-3 ball game. And by the way, Ward's pitch was a foul ball. They thought about challenging it. They didn't. Looking at it on the replay, it was just foul. So 4-3 Cubs, bottom of the 8th inning, 2 outs, runner over at second. And Ward on the next pitch is going to fly one out over to left field, but that'll be caught. 2-0 to Bregman. Vodnik trying to keep it a 1-run lead. The Pirates also have 2 runners on base in their game. And they are in the top of the 4th. 3 balls, no strikes to Bregman. The 3-0, that's down for ball 4, and the Rockies are in trouble. For the Pirates, they have Coleman up to bat. JT Ginn is facing Coleman and the Pirates right here. We have a timeout taken on the mound in the Rockies game. And with that, the 1-2 pitch to Coleman, and that is a foul ball. Or is that Callahan? That's Callahan. What a game. Not sure how you thought of Gurriel as a possibility with the Phillies while doing 5 games, but that's an interesting idea. It is. I'd be intrigued. He was just up to bat. That's why he came to my mind. The pitch, there's a ground ball hit over to first base, and the tag to the bag is in plenty of time. They're going to get the runners over at second and third, Pittsburgh. So, 2 runners in scoring position. A pitching change is going on in the Rockies game, by the way, so that's why they're in a break. The Pirates have 2 runners in scoring position, and they have the tying run at the plate up for them. Trout sends one out to right field. Mike Trout goes yard. And the Angels tie it up 2-2 in the top of the 5th. Good for Mike Trout against Ryan Nelson. Let's go, Trout. That pitch was running inside, and he took it the opposite way. Just a beautiful swing by Trout. Wow. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Mangum and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, they're in the top of the 4th. There's 1 away. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers and Rays are going to go to the top of the 3rd. They're still tied at 3, thanks to the 3-run blast by King Tuck. That's Kyle Tucker. Looked like Mangum just chased after a pitch that was high. Juan Mejia is going to pitch for the Rockies. They are back on. They're only up by a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Michael Busch is up, and he takes strike 1 right there. Still 1-2 to Mangum. Mangum's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes, 2 away out in the Pirates game. The 0-1 to Busch. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2 to Michael Busch. The Rockies are trying to get out of this situation. No balls, 2 strikes to Michael Busch. The 0-2 to Busch. That's down for a ball. Mangum actually fouled off a pitch, and on the next one, he bloops a single out to left field, and the Pirates are on the board. Wow. Nice little swing by him. The 1-2 to Busch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Rockies do give up a run, but they will go to the top of the 9th inning up by a run. And with that, it looks like Valdez is up for the Pirates, and his first pitch is inside for a ball. The Astros, haven't forgotten about them. They are in the bottom of the 8th right now. Altuve is up with a runner over at first and nobody out. Altuve is back with the Astros. And Altuve is going to ground one over to short. The throw to second, there's one. The throw to first, and he grounds into a double play. How about that? A runner over at first, nobody out, and Altuve grounds into a double play with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-0 is the count, by the way, to Valdez, and the pitch, swing and a miss. What do you know? Rays and Dodgers are back on. Aranda is up to bat. Oh, sorry. Toss back over to first, and the throw is not in time. Crazy stuff. I voted Trout to the All-Star game. Mbone? I've never heard of Mbone. Who is he? Who is Mbone? 2-1 on the way to Valdez, and that is down for ball 3. Pirates are trying to score here. The Astros just got on with an infield single, so their inning will continue in the bottom of the 8th. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch to Valdez, and that's called strike 2 to him. We'll put the Pirates game back up on here so that way you guys can see it for yourself. They just made another toss back over to first. The pitch to Cam Smith, and that's grounded over towards second, and the inning is over. The Astros are going to go to the 9th inning. They're down by 5. Okay. Daniel Palencia is going to pitch for the Cubs as they go to the top of the 9th. Again, the Rockies lead it by a run on a 3-run blast that was hit in the top of the 8th inning. And the 3-run homer ended up being hit by Carrick. He's driven in all 4 runs tonight, by the way. PCA has a cycle. The pitch, ground ball hit over towards the pitcher. The throw back to second, there's 1. The throw to first, there's 2. And the Pirates only get 1 run on the board. Jin gets a double play. And he is out of the jam. Aranda just got on with a double. The Rays are ready to score. Lauer's pitch is outside for a ball to Ryan Valade. And Edward Julian is up for the Colorado Rockies. His count is 2-1. The next pitch is outside for ball 3 to Edward Julian. So the Dodgers and the Rays are tied at 3. Aranda got on with a double, and he's over at second with 1 out. The 3-1 pitch to Julian, foul ball. And Lauer's going to reset. The Diamondbacks now have a runner in scoring position. They advanced the runner on a ground out. Let you know who got on base in that game, if you're curious. 3-2 pitch to Julian. That's inside for ball 4. The Lade's 2-0 pitch. Fly ball hit out over towards right field. Tucker is there. He'll make the catch. He'll draw the throw over back to second base, and Aranda is going to stay right where he is. Ketel Marte is up for the Diamondbacks, and he will foul off the first pitch. So there's a runner in scoring position for Arizona with 1 out. Brett Sullivan is up for the Colorado Rockies. He fouls off the first pitch that he sees. So we got 3 big games going on right now. Williamson up for the Rays, Marte up for the Diamondbacks, and Marte will ground one over towards first and the flip back over towards the pitchers in time. but they'll get the runner over to third with 2 away. Sullivan's 0-1, outside for a ball in the Rockies game. And the 0-1 to Williamson. That's going to be grounded out to right field for a base hit. Tucker is going to make the throw to home plate. Aranda is out. He was a dead fish. Tucker made a good throw. You don't run on Kyle Tucker. That was not even close. And the inning comes to an end. Bad base running there by Jonathan Aranda. Tucker's like, you're going to run off of me? I dare you. That ball hit the ground once. And Aranda, by the time the ball was caught at the plate, he was like a quarter of the way out. Really. 2-2 pitch, foul ball, and the inning is over out in LA. Perdomo's up for the Diamondbacks with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And his 2-0 pitch will be in there for a strike. We have a timeout in the Cubs game. Oh, no. Palencia said something wasn't right. The count is still 1-2 to Sullivan. We're going to put that game back over here. So we'll let you know if he stays in the game or not. The A's have a runner over at second. And Jeff McNeil is up, and he takes a pitch up high for a ball. Here's Perdomo, 3 balls, 1 strike, runner over at third. And Perdomo walks, and he'll be over at first base. That's going to put runners over at the corners for the Snakes. There's a fly ball hit out over to right field by McNeil, and Jeff McNeil leaves the yard for the Athletics. It's a 5-1 ball game out in Sacramento. Right off of Jarrett Jones against the Pirates. Sullivan's pitch, foul ball. The at-bat continues between Palencia and Sullivan in the top of the 9th inning. Keith sends one out to left field for the 2nd time today. Colt Keith goes yard. And the Tigers now lead at 9-3 out in Houston. He just homered. Wow. 2-2 pitch, foul ball to Sullivan. That game's in the top of the 9th. Colt Keith and the Detroit Tigers are burying the Astros. And for the Diamondbacks, Corbin Carroll is up. His count is 1-0. Ohtani's also up to bat for the Dodgers. The 1-0 to Carroll, that's grounded over to first and the inning is over. The 2-2 to Sullivan, strike 3 called, and the Rockies have 1 out in the 9th. It was a long battle between Palencia and Sullivan. That was at the knees. Ohtani up for the Dodgers. His 1-1 pitch. And he fouls it off. The next batter up for Colorado is Willie Castro. He'll try to find a way to get on. First pitch, foul ball. Unbelievable. Too bad the Rockies can't score 23 runs per game. The balls, 1 strike to Willie Castro. And the pitch to Castro, fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes to Willie Castro. The 2-2 to Ohtani. He grounds it over to third. He has wheels. The throw over to first is just in time. He was sprinting down that first base line, man. And there's 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd out in LA. Next pitch to Castro, swing and a miss. Palencia's throwing the heat, and there's 2 away. I guess Palencia's fine after all of that. So the A's are up 5-1. The Tigers lead at 9-3. That game is in the 9th inning. And then you got the Rockies up 4-3. The Dodgers and the Rays are tied 3-3. And the Diamondbacks and the Angels are tied 2-2. Pages stares at the called strike at the knees. And so does Freeman for Colorado. Two away, top of the 9th. The 0-1 to Freeman. Foul ball. Right off of the knob of the bats. Wow, what a throw by Rodriguez in that Pirates game. He just gunned out Shea Langeliers at second, and they're going to go to the 5th inning. But they just got a 2-run homer from Jeff McNeil. That was big. The ball's 2 strikes. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Tyler Freeman is up. The 0-2 pitch, and Palencia strikes out the side. The Cubs are down to their final 3 outs as they go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Suzuki and Happ, and also I believe Ballesteros will come on up to the plate for the Chicago Cubs. It's Suzuki, Happ, and it is Ballesteros. Good for me. It's actually Nico Horner, my mistake. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Andy Pages. The Dodgers are in the bottom of the 3rd. Pages is 1-2, and that's down for ball 2. Angels and Diamondbacks are still tied at 2. That game is in the top of the 6th. The Astros are going to go to the bottom of the 9th inning. They're down by 5. So 2 games from the 8 o'clock window about ready to end. One of them is close. The other one, the Astros would need a miracle. Crazy. You think Ohtani could be better than Babe Ruth? He could. Absolutely. 2-2 pitch to Pages. Strike 3 called at the knees. Nick Martinez gets a strikeout. And there's 2 gone in the bottom of the 3rd. I voted Trout to the All-Star game for sure. It's great. 1 out single provided by the Angels. Looked like that was Grissom. Vaughn Grissom that got on there. Or was that Guzman? That was Guzman. I don't know Guzman. Who's Guzman? Denzer Guzman. Must be new. Denzer Guzman just got on with a 1 out single. Here's Freddie Freeman up for the Dodgers. 2 away, bottom of the 3rd. No balls, 1 strike. The 0-1 pitch to Freddie, and he flies that one foul. Suzuki's ready to lead it off for the Cubs as they go to the bottom of the 9th inning. I don't think this game's over yet, chat. Suzuki is in the batter's box. The first pitch to Seiya. There's strike 1. Still 0-2 to Freddie Freeman. And by the way, the runner at first just got picked off in the Angels game. And nonetheless, Logan O'Hoppe is going to get a double out to the gap for the Angels. Freeman just grounded out, and the Dodgers will go to the top of the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike to Seiya Suzuki. And the pitch to Seiya, that is outside for ball 2. Juan Mejia is still pitching. It's a 4-out save situation for him. So Guzman got picked off over at first in the Angels game, and then O'Hoppe just doubled right after that. So they could take the lead, the Angels, in the top of the 6th. Suzuki's count is 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, foul ball. And by the way, there's now 1 out in the Astros game. They're in the bottom of the 9th. De Jesus got the out, and Vasquez is up next. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Seiya Suzuki. The 2-2 on the way. It's high for ball 3. If you have Spencer Horwitz, he just popped out, and now he's 0 for 2 today for the Pirates. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch. That's high for ball 4, and the tying run is aboard. And Ian Happ is up for the Cubbies. 0-2 to Donovan Walton. If Walton gets on here, the Angels could take the lead. Vasquez is 0-2 pitch, and he fouls it back. Ian Happ is up. Nobody out. Bottom of the 9th. Happ's first pitch. Strike 1. It's in there. Walton's 1-2, swing and a miss. And the Angels and the Diamondbacks are going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The ball is 1 strike to Ian Happ. The 0-1 pitch. This is grounded over towards the mound. The throw to second. It's going to get by the second baseman. And just like that, there's going to be runners over at the corners. A horrible throw by Mejia. I mean, there was no chance that Tavar was going to be able to catch that. And it just went way over towards his right side. And so there's nobody out with runners over at first and third out in Chicago. Wow. That should have been a fielder's choice. Athletics and Pirates are going to go to the bottom of the 5th. And by the way, there's now 2 outs in the Astros game. Jeremy Pena is up. His 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be grounded over to shortstop. This should do it. And that will. The Astros lose to the Tigers 9-3. So that game is done. The Tigers win. Colt Keith leaves the yard twice. And they just put up a plethora of runs today. And they will get themselves another win. So the Astros lose. They fall to 33-41. And the Tigers win. They're now 30-42. Timeout taken in the Cubs game. We're just going to focus all of our attention on this one right now. That's crazy. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. Bottom of the 9th. More drama out at Wrigley Field. And Nico Horner is up. The Rockies need a double play. First pitch, high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Nico Horner, who has not gotten a hit today. He's 0 for 4. Mullins is counted as 2-0 in the Rays game, and now it's 2-1. And that game is in the top of the 4th. 2 balls, no strikes to Nico Horner. Bottom of the 9th. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. The pitch. There's a called strike right down Broadway. Diamondbacks are in the bottom of the 6th. They're tied 2-2. The Pirates are down 5-1. They're in the bottom of the 5th out in Sacramento. The 2-1 to Horner. Inside, that nearly hit him. And it's 3-1. And the Dodgers and the Rays are tied at 3. Still 4 games left to go on this night in Major League Baseball. The 3-1 pitch, and that's fouled away. Still 2-2 to Mullins. And Mullins is 2-2, fouled off. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The 3-2 pitch, another foul ball. He swung at ball 4. Wow. That thing was way outside and low, and Horner went fishing, and yet was able to protect. Mullins struck out for the Rays, and there's a big strikeout by Eric Lauer. 3-2, outside for ball 4. The bases are loaded for the Cubs. The A's just got the leadoff man aboard. That's Tyler Soderstrom with a single. The Rockies are going to make a move. Nobody out, bases loaded. A nightmare situation if you're a Colorado Rockies fan. There's not even one out. Here's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. for the Diamondbacks. So a pitching change provided out in Chicago. Nice. All right. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Again, the Diamondbacks and the Angels are in the bottom of the 6th with nobody on and 1 out. And Gurriel takes the next pitch inside for ball 2. The more I think about it, chat, I would really love for the Phillies to get Lourdes here in Philly. He's cheap. He would be really good for the outfield as long as he stays healthy. That'd be such a great move. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out. The pitch. And Gurriel's going to pop this one up. It's hit out over towards shallow center field. The second baseman for the Angels is there. And he will make the catch. That was Oswald Peraza. The A's now have runners over at second and third. Is that correct? How the heck did that happen? Still can't believe that Cole Keith left the yard twice. Jacob Wilson got on, and he smacked one out over towards the right field side and got on with a ground rule double that hit the right field line, and it bounced over the fence. Wow. The A's want to try to add on more runs against the Bucks. And Carlos Cortez is up for them. But obviously, the big suspense is what's going to happen in this Rockies-Cubs game. Cortez just grounded out over towards the mound. Rockies are back on. Seth Halverson is going to pitch. And he has a very tough job to do. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Good luck. 1 run lead. Go get him. The pitch. There's a called strike. That's to Ramirez, who's now pinch hitting. Pedro Ramirez is up for the Chicago Cubs. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 to Ramirez. That is called a ball. Can they they decided not to challenge. That's because they don't have any left. It was a little bit inside, though, to be fair. No ABS challenges left for the Rockies. 1 left for the Cubs. The 1-1 pitch. That misses down for ball 2. Dodgers and Rays are going to the bottom of the 4th. Geloff is up for the A's. They have runners over at second and third with 1 out. It's 2-1. The next pitch, that's outside for ball 3. There's nowhere to put Ramirez. Geloff lines one back up the middle, and 2 runs are going to score for the Athletics. It's a 7-1 ball game. 6-1, actually. 3-1 pitch, line drive, hit out to left field, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. And so this will tie the ball game in the bottom of the 9th with bases still loaded, and Ramirez comes through. So it's 6-1 A's, and now we're tied in Chicago. Man. The pitch, and that is going to be called a ball just inside to Matt Shaw. The 1-0, that's down for ball 2. Nowhere to put Shaw. Rockies are down to their final 2 balls. Peraza just led off the inning with a single for the Angels. 2-0 pitch, and that's a foul ball again. So now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 9th. Winning run at third. Bases loaded. Nobody out. A ball hit to the outfield is pretty much game over. Shaw up to bat. The 2-1 pitch, and that's high for ball 3. The Rockies are down to their final ball. Three balls, 1 strike to Shaw. The 3-1 pitch. Ball game over. Outside for ball 4. A walk-off walk by the Cubs, and they come all the way back from the dead to beat the Rockies. That's their 9th walk-off victory of the season. That leads all of baseball. And what a finish out at Wrigley Field. This game had a total of 9 runs. 6 of them were scored from the 8th inning on. Wow. What a win. And yet, there were 3. 3 games left to go. A walk-off walk provided by the Chicago Cubs. That was by Matt Shaw. And the Cubs come back to beat the Rockies. They couldn't even get 1 out. Not 1 out in the 9th inning. So let's catch you up with what's going on with the rest of these 3 games right now. So as we go back to the live stream here, so here are the 3 games that are still going on at this moment in time. Trout is up for the LA Angels. There's 2 outs and nobody on, and it's 2-2 to Mike Trout. Meanwhile, the A's and the Pirates are in the bottom of the 5th. They have runners over at 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. And then the Dodgers are tied 3-3. That game is in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Trout's 2-2 pitch, and he fouls it back towards the screen. So that's what's going on in the rest of these 3 games. The 0-2, and that's up high to Bolt. Henry Bolt is up for the Athletics. Trout's 2-2 pitch, and that's down for ball 3. What a finish out in that ball game. Kyle Tucker is going to get a base hit again. Kyle Tucker had a 3-run homer for the Dodgers after they were down 3-0. And they're now tied 3-3. But he just singled in the bottom of the 4th with 2 away. Trout's 3-2 pitch. That's a called strike. 3-ball challenge. He will challenge. Was it low? ABS says it was a called strike 3, and the inning is done. So, they're going to go to the bottom of the 7th out at Chase Field. And the only game that's on right now that's not in a break is the Dodgers game. Ward's going to smack one out to right field for a base hit. Kyle Tucker is going to be waved all the way home, I believe. Or are they going to hold him over at 3rd? They will hold him up over at 3rd. I guess that he wasn't running. Usually Kyle Tucker is able to score like all the way home from first base. But let's see. Are they going to even show a replay? That ball was actually a little bit low. Ward, to his credit, was able to just punch it out to right field, get it down that right field line, and he held up. Kyle Tucker held up over at 3rd base. I think he was right to do that, actually, looking back at the replay. So now Dalton Rushing is up, and the Dodgers have 2 runners in scoring position. Crazy. The Dodgers are going to 3-peat because the MLB only cares for LA. I really hope that somebody can upset them. I really do. Somebody better take them down. Dalton Rushing is up for the Dodgers. Nick Martinez has 63 pitches. 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. The Dodgers, the guy that's up next. Hold up a second. Oh, they're not even going to show it. Never mind, I can't pull it up. First pitch to Rushing, it's taken for a ball. Also, the Pirates are back on. It's 1-0 to Ryan O'Hearn. 1 ball, no strikes. That's the Dalton Rushing. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. O'Hearn's going to smack one out to center field, and that'll get down for a base hit, and the Pirates have the leadoff man aboard. And Lawler will lead off the bottom of the 7th out in the desert against the Angels. But first, Dalton's 1-1 is high for ball 2. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Still 3 games left to go. Rushing's 2-1, fouled away. Lawler's count is 0-2 in the Diamondbacks game. Again, they're in the bottom of the 7th. Gonzalez for the Pirates, his count is 1-0. Lawler just got hit for Arizona. And the 1-0 to Gonzalez, that's fouled back. Bat to Rushing's at bats. The pitch, fouled off. 2-2 to Dalton Rushing. And again, there's 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away. Gonzalez is 1-1, grounded over to third. Sliding stop by Geloff to throw the second. There's 1. That's all that they're going to get. And Rushing's pitch. Strike 3 called. Martinez gets out of the pickle, and they're going to go to the 5th inning out at Dodger Stadium. Dalton Rushing just watched a curveball go by right down the middle, and he thought it was going to be a ball, and he sort of shakes his head back and forth as he goes back to the dugout for the Dodgers. Now, back to Lawler's at bat, I believe that they called it a foul ball, and they're going to challenge that. Torey Lovullo is going to challenge because he thinks that ball hit him, right? Oh, no. So he got hit by the pitch, but they're saying that after he got on, he got picked off over at first. Oh, that was close. That was a really good throw made back by the pitcher. But I think that Torey Lovullo has a case here. He might be safe. In the Pirates game, there's another single provided in the top of the 6th. JT Ginn gives up another base hit, and there's runners over at first and second base. Who was that? That was up to bat. That was Endy Rodriguez, who ends up getting on with a single. So the Diamondbacks and Angels are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th with 1 away. But again, just to remind you, Torey Lovullo is challenging to see if Lawler was out at first. And he hopes that that call is overturned. Now they're taking their time to review this. And meanwhile, the Pirates have runners over at first and second. And the Dodgers are in a break. 2 runners on, 1 out. And Callahan is up to bat for the Pirates. I don't think this game's over yet either. The Pirates could really make this a game here. Jin is 92 pitches, and the first pitch here to Callahan, swing and a miss. Can you believe that the Cubs walked it off on a walk with the bases loaded, and they got nobody out, the Rockies, after they got a big-time lead in the 8th inning? The pitch to Callahan. This is popped up a mile high out towards shallow right field. Butler's there. He'll make the catch and squeeze it for out number 2. They are still looking to see if Lawler is out over at first base or not. They are taking like all their time in the world to look at this out in New York. Yandy Diaz is up for the Rays. That game is in the top of the 5th. His count is 0-2. They just came back. The 0-2 to Diaz, fouled off. The call's confirmed, and Lawler is out over at first base for the Diamondbacks. Mangum is up for the Pirates. And Urena is up for Arizona. And Diaz is up for Tampa Bay. Diaz's pitch is high for a ball. By the way, it's Smith who's facing Urena. So Smith is up and he swings and misses. And the count is 0-1. Mangum's first pitch. There's ball 1. The 1-2 to Diaz. Strike 3 called. And that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Eric Lauer and the Dodgers. 1 away in the top of the 5th. Mangum's 1-0 pitch. It's down for ball 2. The 1-1 to Smith. That's a high drive. Where does it go? That ball's crushed. Oh, man. That hit off the foul pole. Pavin Smith gives the Diamondbacks a 3-2 lead. This isn't golf. This is baseball. That pitch was way inside. How did he get that? 2-1 pitch, grounded over towards second. The throw over to first is in time. And the Pirates again strand 2 men on base. And they are going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Diamondbacks just took a 3-2 lead on one big swing by Pavin Smith. That was a big-time home run. Camanero's pitch, and that is going to be taken for a called ball, but this will be challenged by Dalton Rushing. That looked like it was a strike. Diamondbacks now have 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Pavin always kills us. You need a DiamondZone hat for these. Dude, I really would like to get some merch eventually. I really do. No balls. 1 strike to Junior Caminero. 2 ABS challenges left for the Dodgers. 1 left for the Rays. Caminero facing Lauer. And the 0-1, that's a fly ball hit out to left field. That'll get down for a single. And Caminero gets on, and the Tampa Bay Rays have their go-ahead runner over at second base. Marte for the Diamondbacks, his pitch. Grounded out to right field for a base hit. Marte, is he going to go for 2? Nope, he's just going to stay over at first base, and he punches a single out to right field. So Ketel Marte continues to hit for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he gets on once again for the 2nd time today. And Perdomo is now up. Marte is now 1 for 4. Ryan Valade is going to bat for Tampa Bay. And his pitch is down for a ball. Here's what we'll do. We'll put this game over here. And we'll have Valade's at-bat up on the screen. Timeout taken in the Arizona game. The 1-0 pitch. And that's a fly ball by Valade. Hit out over to center field. Not deep enough. Pages has plenty of room to catch it. The runner from second, Aranda, stays right where he is. and there's 2 away. Aranda and Caminero over at first and second base. McNeil, who homered his last time up for the Athletics, just flied out over to center. And that's how the bottom of the 6th starts off out in Sacramento. 1 away. And for the Diamondbacks, they have Geraldo Perdomo up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th and a runner over at first. Williamson for Tampa Bay looks at strike 1. The pitch to Perdomo, line drive, base it out to left center field. This is going to go all the way to the wall. Marte is going to score all the way from first base, and a huge insurance run by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Perdomo and Marte continue to light it up for Arizona. Williamson for the Rays just grounded out over towards the pitcher, and the inning is over, so Lauer gets the final out himself. Perdomo on the left side just took it out to left center. Marte just was cruising all the way home. And now it's Corbin Carroll's turn. Carroll's going to ground one out over towards second, and the throw to first is in time. Regardless, the Diamondbacks take the lead and get an insurance run on a solo swing by Pavin Smith, and also an RBI double by Geraldo Perdomo. And so with that, they go into the 8th inning, right? Is it the 8th inning for them? They're going to the 8th. That's correct. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nick Kurtz. Bottom of the 6th, 1 away. And Kurtz takes a ball, but that, I believe, is going to be overturned to strike 3. Rodriguez will challenge. That looks clearly like it was a strike. What? They call it a ball. I stand corrected. Wow. 3 balls, 2 strikes. What's wrong with their pitch tracks? Said it was a strike on their pitch tracks. Not joking. 3-2 pitch. That's chopped foul. So just to make things clear, the Dodgers are going to the bottom of the 5th, all tied up at 3. The A's are in the bottom of the 6th. They lead it 6-1. And Arizona is up 4-2 as they go to the top of the 8th. 3-2 pitch to Kurtz. This is popped up out and towards the left field side and out of play. And the at-bat continues for Nick Kurtz. Those Diamondbacks. Jeez. Angels are going to come back up for the top of the 8th inning. Obviously a pivotal inning for them as they trail 4-2. We saw Trout homer for them earlier. See if he can do it maybe again. Nick Kurtz is up still. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch, and that misses down for ball 4. Carmen Majinski ends up allowing a 1-out walk in the bottom of the 6th. Alex Freeland for the Dodgers slaps the first pitch foul in the Dodgers game. And the next pitch he takes for a ball, so it's 1-1 to him. And Meckler is up for the Angels, and his first pitch is outside for a ball. Freeland's 1-1, foul ball. And the guy that's up for the A's is Shea Langeliers. He fouled off the first pitch. Meckler, 1 ball, no strikes in the pitch. And Meckler's going to ground one over to second. Marte picks it up and throws it over to first. And the Angels are down to their final 5 outs. 0-1 to Langeliers, swing and a miss. Freeland's 1-2, up high for ball 2. 3 games still going on. We got a triple play. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Freeland. The pitch and a foul ball, and it goes out of play. Shea is still up to bat for the A's. His 0-2 pitch is outside and low for a ball. And it's still 1-0 to Joe Adell for the Angels. The 1-0 pitch to Joe Adell. That's in there for a strike. Martinez's pitch. Strike 3 called in the Dodgers game. One away, bottom of the 5th. Alice Freeland strikes out on the curve. Good pitch. Adell's going to line one out over towards the second base side, and there's out number 2. Ohtani's now up for the Dodgers. The 2-2 to Langeliers, that's a foul ball. 2 quick outs for the Angels. Ohtani's count is 1-0, and his pitch is in there for a strike. The 2-2 pitch popped up, hit out over towards right field by Langeliers. Reynolds is there. He'll make the catch. And there's out number 2. Ohtani's 1-1 pitch. Down and inside for ball 2. And Nolan Shanuel, who's up for the Angels, stares at strike 1 and strike 2. Two and 1 to Ohtani, and his pitch is fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes to Nolan Shanuel in the top of the 8th inning for the Angels. The 0-2 to Shanuel, grounded back up the middle, sliding stop by Marte, throws it over to first. What a play! Ketel Marte records all 3 outs by himself, and they will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. That was a ridiculous play by one of the best second basemen in all of baseball. The 2-2 to Ohtani, swing and a miss. Martinez has been in cruise control ever since he allowed the 3-run homer to Tucker. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning out at Dodger Stadium. So again, the Diamondbacks are going to go to the bottom of the 8th inning. They lead it 4-2. Here's Andy Pages for the Dodgers. And he stares at the cutter that misses down for a ball. Still got 3 games left. Soderstrom's 1-2 pitch. And that is lined foul towards the right side. That was a bullet. Tyler Soderstrom homered earlier in the ballgame for the A's. Pages and Soderstrom. Martinez kicks and fires, and Pages smacks one out to center, but there to make the grab for out number 3 is Mullins. They're going to go to the 6th. Still tied 3-3. So Tyler Soderstrom is still in the batter's box for the Athletics with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th and a runner over at first base. His 1-2 misses outside for ball 2. Majinski just threw it outside. Let's go. What's up, Quan? How you doing? 2-2 to Soderstrom. And the pitch. It's outside for ball 3. I don't know why he's standing there. That makes no sense. That's like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Must have froze up or something. There we go. No? Maybe it froze. 3-2 pitch to Soderstrom, and that's popped up over towards the third base side. And Callahan has it, and he'll make the catch. Time to go to the 7th. Pirates are down by 5. Marino comes on up for the Diamondbacks, and his 0-1 pitch is fouled off. Wow. Time called by Marino, and he will step on out of the box. Sort of slowing down a little bit. but we're still having fun on here. Hopefully you guys are having as much fun as I am. No balls, 2 strikes. Sewell is warming up in the bullpen. Not really a surprise there. 0-2 pitch. That's going to be called a ball. Furman didn't get the call. Of course, Wilson. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you on here. 1-2 pitch to Marino. Check swing. He didn't go. And the count is now 2-2. Still 3 games left on this night in Major League Baseball. 2 of them are in a break. And actually, 2 of them are back on now. Slater is up to start off the top of the 6th for the Rays, and he stares at strike 1. The 2-2 to Marino. That's grounded over towards short, and the throw to first is in time. 1 away out in Arizona in the bottom of the 8th inning. Slater's pitch. That's down and inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Austin Slater. Lars Gurriel Jr. is up for the 4th time tonight for the Diamondbacks. He had an RBI single back in the 4th. 1-1 from Lauer, and that's down for ball 2 to Austin Slater. Lauer is pitching for the Dodgers. He has 84 pitches right now. No balls, 1 strike to Lars Gurriel Jr. And the Pirates are also back on. 0-1 to Gurriel. Grounded over to third. Picked up by the third baseman. The throw to first. There's out number 2 out in the deserts. Slater's 3-1 pitch. Here it comes, and that's going to be called ball 4. No challenge provided. That looked like it hit the outside edge. So, the leadoff man's aboard for Tampa Bay. And then we got Valdez up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. His count is 1-2. Arenado is up for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And his first pitch is in there for a strike. And Cedric Mullins is up for the Rays. 3 games left on this night in baseball. Mullins is going to ground 1 over towards second. The tag to second, there's 1. The throw to first, and that is a 6-3 double play. 2 up and 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. Not what the doctor ordered for Tampa Bay. It's 0-2 to Nolan Arenado in the bottom of the 8th. Furman kicks and deals, and Arenado grounds 1 back up the middle and through the hole for a base hit. And there's a leadoff single by Arenado. Valdez for the Pirates pops 1 up out over towards the first base side, then foul ground, and the catch is made by Langeliers. And there's 1 away in the top of the 7th out in Sacramento. Nick Fortes comes on up for the Rays, and he chops 1 over to third, and it's a foul ball. Lawler up for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The pitch is down. The throw to second base is not in time, and Arizona has Arenado in scoring position. So it's 1 ball and no strikes to Jordan Lawler. Angels will not challenge it. The 1-0 to Horwitz. And that's going to be inside for ball 2 to Spencer Horwitz. No, it is Spencer Horwitz. Why did I mess that up? The 2-0 to Horowitz. That's a called strike. And the 2-1 to Fortes. That's a foul ball. Arenado just stole his 3rd bag of the season. He's in scoring position for Arizona. The 2-0 pitch is down for ball 3 to Lawler. The 2-1 to Horowitz, and that's a foul ball. And the 2-2 to Fortes. That's another foul ball, too. Lawler takes the next pitch up high for ball 4, so he gets on with a 2-out walk. Horowitz's next pitch is going to be taken for ball 3. Now back to Lawler's at bat. This will be challenged. by the Angels. They're going to lose that ABS challenge, and they have lost all of their challenges. Fortes pops one up out over towards center, and the inning is over. The Dodgers are going to go to the bottom of the 6th. And also, Lau is going to come on up for the Pirates. A walk was issued in that ball game to Horowitz. Brandon Lau takes strike 1. And the Diamondbacks have Pavin Smith up to bat again. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning for Arizona. 1 out, 1 runner on in the bottom of the 7th inning. The top of the 7th inning for Pittsburgh. 0-2 to Brandon Lau. And 1-1 to Pavin Smith. The 1-1 to Smith. It's down for ball 2. I know, isn't it crazy? 0-2 pitch. That's outside for a ball. Two and one still to Pavin Smith. And his next pitch is grounded over to second, and the inning is going to be over as the throw to first is in plenty of time. The 1-2 on the way to Lau. Swing and a miss, and there's out number 2 in the top of the 7th inning out in Sacramento. So again, just to catch you up, it looks like that the Diamondbacks are going to go to the top of the 9th inning. Still in the top of the 7th. Out in Sacramento. And the pitch, that'll be in there for a strike. Thursday's DiamondZone is going to be crazy because that's going to be like the full 6:45, 7 o'clock games plus a couple of 9:40 games. That's going to be fun. It's just so hard to do it because the Phillies are on. You know? 0-1 pitch, that's in there for strike 2 to Brian Reynolds. Dodgers are back on. Freeman leads it off. Freddie's first pitch is inside for a ball. No balls, 2 strikes. To Brian Reynolds, the 0-2, and another foul ball. Freeman's 1-0 pitch, and he fouls it back. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Still plenty of baseball left to go in that Dodgers game. Plenty of baseball left. They had a lot of scoring early in that game and nothing ever since. The 0-2 pitch to Reynolds, it's down for a ball. And the next pitch to Freeman, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes in both counts to Freeman and also to Reynolds. The 1-2 to Freeman outside. The 1-2 on the way to Reynolds. Swing and a miss. And they're going to go to the bottom of the 7th out in Sacramento. And so the inning is over. 6-1 A's. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Freddie Freeman. And Freeman's next pitch is fouled back towards the screen. And by the way, Guzman is up in the top of the 9th inning for the Angels. They're down by 2. Sewald's going to pitch and will try to get another save. The first pitch was for a ball. The second pitch is fouled away. And Freeman's 2-2 pitch is fouled off again. One ball, 1 strike to Guzman. And the next pitch, and Guzman pops one up out over towards foul territory. And that is going to go out of play. 2-2 still to Freddie Freeman. Martinez gets set and deals. And Freeman fouls off another one. He is making Nick Martinez work here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 to Freddie Freeman. And 1-2 to Guzman. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Guzman's retired. Next pitch to Freddie. That's taken for ball 3. So 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Out in Arizona. Couldn't catch up to that pitch. And Logan O'Hoppe is up for the Angels. But first, Freeman's 3-2 pitch. And another foul ball. What an at-bat by Freddie Freeman. It's been a long one. It's a 9-pitch at-bat to Freddie. The payoff pitch, and another one. That's the 10th pitch. By the way, it's 0-2, by the way, to Logan O'Hoppe with 1 out. The first pitch to Wilson, that was in there for a strike. Jacob Wilson is up for the A's. And his 0-1 is outside and low for a ball. The big 0-2 pitch to O'Hoppe. That's outside and low for a ball as well. Freeman's 3-2 pitch. Up high for ball 4. And the Dodgers have a base runner on. What an at-bat by Freddie Freeman. 1-2 to Logan O'Hoppe. And his next pitch is down for ball 2. It's a really good pitch by Sewald. Sewald has a 3.08 ERA. Jacob Wilson's count still 1-2. And Wilson fouls off a pitch. The 2-2 on the way, and O'Hoppe's going to fly one out over towards right center field. That ball's going to go back towards the track, but it's caught in front of the wall by Corbin Carroll. 2 gone in the top of the 9th. The pitch to Betts, that's taken for a ball in the Dodgers game. Remember, Freeman just got on with a walk. Betts is 1-0. He pops it up. Hit out over towards shallow center field. Where is it? Mullen says, I got it. Keeps waving, and there's out number 1. Wilson's pitch, grounded over towards third. The throw to first is in plenty of time, and there's 1 away out in Sacramento. The guy that's up to bat for the Angels, that's Donovan Walton, and his first pitch is taken for a ball. Looks like that Martinez is going to, I think that's going to do it for him. Yep, it is. So a pitch and change in the Tampa Bay Dodgers game. The Tampa Bay and LA Dodgers game. The 1-0 pitch to Walton. Fouled off. Carlos Cortez is also up for the Athletics. His count is 1-0. Sewald looking to try to get another save. He has 17 on the season. The 1-1 pitch, and I believe that's called strike 2. It is. 1 more strike to go. One ball, 2 strikes to Donovan Walton. The next pitch is outside for ball 2. And it's also 1-2 to Cortez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 9th. 2 outs, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball hit out over towards right center field. That ball's going back. That ball's going towards the track. And it's a 1-run ball game. Donovan Walton hits a home run off of Paul Sewald in the 9th. That just carried it, had enough oomph to get on out of there. Paul Sewald this season, by the way, has not allowed a lot of home runs. As a matter of fact, he's allowed 4, but he's only allowed 2 over his last 2 months. First pitch to Peraza. That's taken for a ball. Oswald Peraza's 1-0 pitch. That's outside for ball 2. The tying run is up to bat. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th out in Sacramento. Geloff is up. The pitch, swing and a miss. 2-0 on the way, swinging a miss to Peraza. Muncy is up to bat for the Dodgers. His count is 1-0. The 2-1 pitch to Peraza, that's in there for strike two, and again, Arizona is one strike away from winning. Muncy up for the Dodgers. His 1-0 pitch is outside and low for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Peraza. The 2-2 pitch to Peraza, outside again for ball three. And Gelof's 0-2 is outside for ball one. Boozer pitching for the Rays, and the 2-0 to Muncy is down for ball three. Peraza's 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. The Diamondbacks hang on and win 4-3. The Angels had 10 hits in that game and only put up 3 runs. And a big-time W for Arizona. Got a couple of big swings, including one by Oswald Peraza. Gelof just got on with an infield single. And there's 2 games left to go, chat. He got the save. Peraza strikes out on a fastball down Broadway. Nelson gets the win, Urena gets the loss, and Sewell now has 18 saves on the season. Here's Lawrence Butler up to bat, by the way. And his pitch is going to be taken for a called strike. So 2 games are left to go. No balls, 1 strike to Lawrence Butler. The Dodgers have Kyle Tucker up to bats with 2 runners on base and 1 out. Let you know how that happened in just a second. It's 0-2 to Butler. Tucker hit a 3-run homer earlier in the game. We'll see what he does here. The pitch to Kyle, foul ball. Butler's 0-2 pitch. Fly ball hit out to left center field, and that ball's going to hit off the top of the wall. 1 run's going to score, and the A's pile it on against the Pirates. And by the way, Muncy walked, so that's why he's over at first. 0-1 pitch to Tucker, a check swing, foul ball. Lawrence Butler just added on an extra run for the Athletics. And they get another big-time run there. No balls, 2 strikes to Kyle Tucker. Here is Tucker in the box. The 0-2 outside for a ball. So Butler doubled, Gelof scored, and Gelof really got on a fielding error by Lau at second base. He actually made a bad throw. I saw the replay. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kyle Tucker. And still 1 out in the bottom of the 6th, out in Dodgers land. Next pitch, foul ball. And the guy that's up to bat for the Athletics, that's Bolt. Henry Bolt, a .318 hitter with 1 homer and 7 RBIs. He did double in the 2nd, and he scored a run. Bolt's 1-1 pitch, chopped over to 3rd, and played on the hop, and the throw to 1st, that is not in time. Bolt was running down that line like he was Usain Bolt out there, really. The pitch to Tucker, swing and a miss. He struck out. Kyle Tucker got a pitch that was right at the knees, couldn't catch up to it, and actually checked his swing. Anyways, so 2 away, bottom of the 6th. And the Dodgers and the Rays are going to take a timeout. So Bolt gets on with a single, and Jeff McNeil is up to bat for the Athletics in the bottom of the 7th. Meanwhile, Alex Call is going to step on up to the plate for the Dodgers. And I believe he's going to pinch hit. McNeil's first pitch. That's a called strike. The A's will challenge, and they lose a challenge there. So both teams are out of ABS challenges. The Pirates and the A's have none. So Ward is going to have call pinch hit for him. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Can the Dodgers get the lead? The pitch. It's in there for a strike. Still 2 diamonds left. We saw a crazy walk-off by the Cubs. Other than that, it's just been some weird baseball tonight. 0-1 pitch to call, swing and a miss. And it's 0-2 to McNeil. McNeil's 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be grounded out to right field, and another run's going to score for the A's. And that puts runners over at first and second. This is getting ugly for Pittsburgh. Butler crosses home plate. The 0-2 to call, foul ball. And that certainly got a piece of the catcher, and he is down. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. He's sitting up. Is the trainer going to go check up on him? The home plate umpire just went to go see Boozer. And regardless, in the A's game, there's 2 outs, and Nick Kurtz is up. And he swings and misses at the pitch. Oh, 1. And that's in there for strike 2 to Nick Kurtz. So 0-2 to call. And calls pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Dodgers had a golden opportunity there. And they're tied at 3. Still no balls and 2 strikes to Nick Kurtz. In the bottom of the 7th. A 7-run lead. And the pitch to Kurtz. This is flied out over towards deep left field. That ball's going back. It's going towards the track. For the second time today, Kurtz goes yard. That ball just barely got out. Nick Kurtz, have yourself a day. 2 opposite field home runs for Nick Kurtz. And it's 11-1 A's. He just has so much strength. I don't know how he got that out. That looked like it was just going to be a regular fly ball. And it just kept going and going and going. And Shea Langeliers is up. If you have Nick Kurtz in fantasy, he just hit you 2 homers today. And just continues to just rake. The A's have hit 23 homers in their last 7 games. Unreal. Langeliers is up. His 0-2 pitch is fouled back. I can't believe that he just went yard. It is 12:05 a.m. Eastern Time, folks. No balls, 2 strikes. Perdomo, Corbin, Carroll, and Marte are just good ball players. They really are. 2-2 pitch to Langeliers, grounded over to third. The throw over to first is in time. Nick Kurtz hits a 3-run home run. The A's put up 5 runs in the 7th inning, and they're going to go to the top of the 8th, up by 10. Wow. The A's used to be in Philadelphia. Yes, they did. Absolutely. Absolutely, they did. The Dodgers are back. They're going to the top of the 7th, still tied at 3. And the Rays are up to bat, and the first pitch is fouled away. No balls and 1 strike. The ball is 1 strike here. And the pitch is up high for a ball. Taylor Walls is up. He's 0 for 1. The count is 1-1 to him. And Hurt kicks and deals. That's going to be grounded foul. This was a pretty good slate. Calls out and left. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called again. And Hurt just continues to look dominant as a reliever for the Dodgers. It's been really good for them. Underrated. I know he has a 4.22 ERA, but that's because he did terrible in this last game. Other than that, this guy has been magnificent. He's been so, so good. Came on into June with a 1 ERA. And here comes Yandy Diaz. His first pitch is going to be taken for a called strike. 0-1 to Yandy Diaz. The pitch, that's grounded over to third. Backhanded by Muncy. The throw over to first base, and there's out number 2 in the 7th. Mason Barnett is going to pitch for the Athletics in the top of the 8th inning. 4 games, a 1-0 record, and a .72 ERA. .72 whip, actually. And he will face Ryan O'Hearn. And the first pitch was in there for a strike. The second pitch is also in there for a strike. Aranda up for Tampa Bay. And Aranda is going to smack a single out to left field for the Rays. And he gets on with an opposite field base hit. 0-2 to O'Hearn. And Ryan's pitch, that's a fly ball. That is drilled out to center field. But it'll be caught in front of the wall. The fact that, I mean, they showed a home plate view of that. It looked like that ball was going to be crushed. And O'Hearn was just watching it fly, but it just died on the track. And there's a 1 away. Caminero is up to bat. And the changeup is in there for a strike. It's a 3-3 game, top of the 7th, 2 outs, a runner over at first for the Rays. And the 0-1 pitch is down for a ball. Gonzalez is up for Pittsburgh. His count is 1-0. Reached on an air back in the 4th, and he scored a run. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. Caminero's 1-1. Down for ball 2. 2 full screens. It's nice to see things in full screen. Gonzalez is 1-1 pitch. That's going to be shot to foul again. Here's the pitch to Caminero. That's low for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike to Junior Caminero. And 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gonzalez. The 1-2 to Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Out number 2. 3-1 to Caminero. Foul ball. Two away, top of the 8th inning. Rodriguez again up to bat for the Pirates. He's actually had a really good day. He's 2 for 2. And he looks at a called strike at the knees at 96 miles per hour. The 3-2 pitch to Caminero. And that ball is fouled off towards the right side. Runner was going. 0-1 to Rodriguez. That's a fly ball hit out over towards left center field. That ball's going back, and that ball is gone. Andy Rodriguez cuts it to a 9-run deficit. And it's his 3rd homer of the season as well. Right out over that wall. 3-2 to Junior Caminero. Swung on and missed, and Hurt gets out of the inning again. Bottom of the 7th out at Dodger Stadium. Rushing, Freeland, and Ohtani will be due on up for them. Here comes Callahan for Pittsburgh, and he fouls off the first pitch. It's 0-1. So this game is in the top of the 8th. The Dodgers game is now in the bottom of the 7th. Things have certainly quieted down. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again. So we saw the end of the Cubs game, which got really wild. We saw the end of the Diamondbacks game. Diamondbacks won 4-3. Cubs won 5-4. We also saw the Tigers win 9-3 out in Houston. That wasn't really much of a fight there. The 0-2 is taken for a ball. And then we got Tampa Bay taking on the Dodgers. And we got the A's up by 9. 1-2 pitch, and Callahan flies one out over towards right field, not deep at all. Butler's there, he'll make the catch. And the A's will go to the bottom of the 8th inning, up 11-2. Soderstrom, Wilson, and Cortez are going to come on up to the plate for them. Oh, man. Other final scores around Major League Baseball tonight. Let's take a look at that right now, shall we? Okay, so the Nationals won against the Royals 7-3. The Reds, they destroyed the New York Mets today. They put up 12 runs. The Mets didn't have any runs. None whatsoever. The Texas Rangers, they lost 4-2. By the time we started DiamondZone, they were in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Texas lost. The Cubs, they won 5-4 against the Colorado Rockies. The Cardinals actually shut out the San Diego Padres by a final score of 3-0. The Phillies won 7-0 against the Marlins. A lot of shutouts today. 7-0 Phillies, 3-0 Cardinals, and also 12-0 Cincinnati. Those were all the shutouts in Major League Baseball today. Pretty insane when you think about it. All right, here is Dalton rushing, and on the first pitch, he flies one out to deep right field, and just like that, the Dodgers take the lead. Hold up a second. Hold up a second. They called it a foul ball. It just went in front of the pole. I think that might be overturned. Yep. That is not a home run. That is a foul ball. They overturned it. So it's no balls and 1 strike to Dalton rushing. The 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be flied out over to right field. That'll stay in the ballpark, though, and the catch will be made. And there's out number 1. That did just go right towards the right side. Yep. Happy that they reviewed that. Soderstrom is up for the Athletics. And a 1-1 pitch will be swung on and missed. And the count is 1-2. Looks like Miguel Rojas will come on up to bat for the Dodgers. Rojas is going to fly one out over to deep left field. That ball's going back towards the track. That one's certainly gone. It wasn't rushing. It was Miguel Rojas. Dennis Santana gets a swing and a miss. And Soderstrom strikes out for the A's. In his final season in Major League Baseball, Miguel Rojas launches one deep to give the Dodgers the lead in a clutch at-bat. Here comes Ohtani in the pitch. That'll be in there for a called strike. Wilson just flied out over to right field for the A's. And now there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Shohei Ohtani's 0-1 pitch. And that is going to be fouled off towards the left side. Oh, 2 to Shohei Ohtani. And his next pitch is fouled off again. Here's the pitch to Cortez. That misses down for a ball. Dodger Stadium just went nuts after that home run was hit by Rojas. 0-2 and a called strike. 3 on the outside corner, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Ohtani strikes out looking. One ball, 1 strike to Cortez. In the bottom of the 8th with 2 away. The pitch. That's a called strike. Pages takes a pitch down for a ball. It was a 3-0 lead for the Rays early on. And then 1 swing of the bat made it 3-3. That was from Kyle Tucker. And then Miguel Rojas just hit a go-ahead home run. Pages is going to pop bat over towards center, and the inning is over. Meanwhile, the A's and the Pirates are going to go to the top of the 9th inning. The Pirates are down by 9. What a swing by Miguel Rojas, though, to make it a 4-3 lead for Los Angeles. Quick step off. I'll be right back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. All right, chat. Still 2 games left to go. Thank you all so much. Fabian, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it, my friend. And Black Sheep, thank you very, very much for the sub as well. Folks, if you are new to my channel, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. Welcome on into MLB DiamondZone, where we go on for as many baseball games as we can. And we do a lot of MLB coverage tonight. We actually got to call 5 games at once at one point, which was pretty cool. So hopefully you guys definitely enjoyed that. Our next episode of Diamond Zone is going to be on Wednesday. There's going to be a lot of night games that night, so that'll be interesting for sure. Make sure that you guys are on for that, and we will have you covered for Diamond Zone. Our next Phillies game is tomorrow night. We got the Phillies taking on the Miami Marlins. That game is at 6:40. And they'll be back on tomorrow. And then we got another Phillies game on Wednesday afternoon at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Rojas looks like my mechanic, but dude can play. He can, man. Miguel Rojas. I will trade Johan Rojas for Miguel Rojas in a heartbeat. Oh, man. Here we go, top of the 9th, out in Sacramento. Let's put that game on right now. And a pivotal inning, too, by the way, for the Tampa Bay Rays. Thank you all so much for staying up with us. No balls, 1 strike to Jake Mangum, and the pitch is down and away for a ball. Barnett is still pitching for the Athletics. And it looks like Ryan Valide is up for the Tampa Bay Rays, and his first pitch is outside for a ball. Will Klein is pitching. 1-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Klein this season, 28 innings and a 2.25 ERA. The 1-0. That'll be in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jake Mangum, and 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Valade. The 1-1 pitch. That's a line drive hit out to right field. That'll get down for a base hit, and Valade gets on with a leadoff single. The 1-2 to Mangum. Here it comes. That is drilled foul towards the third base side and out of play. So the Rays have the leadoff man aboard with nobody out in the top of the 8th inning. And that's big for them. The 1-2 pitch to Mangum, and this ball is popped up out over towards short. Geloff is there, makes the catch, and there's out number 1. Charge! 1 away, out in Sacramento. Valade is going to come on out of the game. They're going to have a pinch runner for Ryan Valade instead. And it looks like Chandler Simpson is over at first. Is that correct? It is. He can run. They're going to play small ball. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Ben Williamson. Pirates are down to their final 2 outs. First pitch was for a ball to Valdez. 1-0 pitch to Valdez, and that ball is popped up and fouled behind the plate. Toss back over to first, and Chandler gets back to the bag in plenty of time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Valdez, and 0-1 to Williamson. Simpson luckily got back over to first. Oh, man, he almost went early. And Klein looked over at second, made the throw there, and that was a huge mistake. Oh, my gosh. He easily would have been picked off. Wow. What was Klein doing? 0-1 pitch. That is called a ball. I don't know how. That was a strike. That's going to be challenged. I can't believe that Klein didn't even throw it over to first. Simpson would have been out. He had the wrong idea there. He was like a quarter of the way off the bag, like going over to second, and he could have easily gotten him out. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes, by the way, to Valdez. Imagine that. 3-2 to Valdez. Fly ball hit out over to right field. Butler's there to track it down. 2 away, out in Sacramento. 0-2 to Williamson. Simpson somehow remains over at first, and the pitch is fouled off. Simpson literally almost blew that. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Horwitz is up for the Pirates, and his first pitch is chopped foul. The pitch, high bouncer, hit over towards second. The throw over to first is in time. Rojas had to make a really tough play because it was hit towards the right side, and he wouldn't have been able to get Simpson out because he was running over to second base anyways. So they do get to advance the runner. It's a productive out, but there's 1 away. And by the way, the A's are now down to their final strike, or the Pirates, that is, are down to their final strike. So 1 more strike to go. O2 pitch, and that's taken for a ball to Spencer Horwitz. Austin Slater is up for the Rays. Again, they're tying runs over at second. The 1-2 to Spencer Horwitz. That's a line drive base hit down the left field line. The Pirates game will continue. And Horwitz gets on with a double. Soderstrom almost misplayed that too. Off the bottom of the wall. 1 ball, 1 strike to Austin Slater. Simpson at second. He's the tying run. Slater's 1 for 2. Client looks back at second, and the 1-1 pitch is in there for a strike. And Rushing thought about throwing it back over to second, but decided not to. Klein ducked. But Simpson is just staying right there. Here's Brandon Lau for the Pirates. And Lau fouls off the first pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Austin Slater. The 1-2 pitch, high for ball 2. Big 0-1 to Lau. Lau's pitch. And just like that, the Pirates are down to their final strike again on the foul ball. Simpson was going, and the pitch. That's grounded over to third, and the throw over to first is in time. Simpson's over at third. There's 2 away in the top of the 8th. He was running on that pitch, and it was a chopper hit right over to third. Muncy got there in plenty of time. The 0-2 to Lau, that's fouled away. So the tying run for Tampa Bay is 90 feet away from scoring. Lau down to his final strike for Pittsburgh. The 0-2 pitch, and Lau's going to fly one out over towards shallow left field. Soderstrom's there, and the ball game is over. The A's destroyed the Pirates 11-2, and the final score makes it a 9-run win for the A's, and their offense just continues to click out in Sacramento. And another one in the books. Dave Roberts is going to make a move, and he will take out Klein, and he'll bring in Vesia to face Cedric Mullins. So Klein's going to come on out of the game. And this is our final game that's left. Well, that was successful. That was pretty cool. All right, so again, just to catch you up on the final scores of Major League Baseball from tonight. Here is what they all look like. So the Phillies won against the Marlins. They shut them out 7-0. Okay, the Nationals, they won 7-3 against the Kansas City Royals. In that ball game, there was actually a lot of action going on in that one today, which was really cool. The Phillies won 7-0. Lord got the win for the Nationals. Spence got the loss. And the Nationals actually had Curtis Mead with a 2-run single. Luis Garcia Jr. had himself 2 RBI base hits. So that was good for him. And Dylan Cruz homered. Also, Carter Jensen had an RBI infield single as well. The Cardinals, they shut out the Padres 3-0. 3-0 was the final score of that game. And what ended up happening there was May got the win, Giolito got the loss, and Jimmy Crooks actually had himself a 2-run double, and Alec Burleson had an RBI double as well. May actually pitched a complete game 1-hitter. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that. He 1-hit the Padres? 9 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 9 strikeouts, and just 1 walk allowed. Wow. I didn't even know that. Well, that's what happened. The Cubs, they won 5-4 against the Colorado Rockies. That was quite a game as well. You had Carrig. That was Cole Carrig, who had all 4 RBIs for the Colorado Rockies. He had a big-time go-ahead 3-run homer in the top of the 8th inning. Then the Cubs got a big-time run back in the bottom of the 8th on a Pete Crow-Armstrong sac fly. PCA also hit for the cycle in that game. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Ramirez had an RBI single with the bases loaded, and then Shaw walked to end the ball game. Here we go to the top of the 8th inning. This is a big-time at-bat here. Vesia's first pitch, swing and a miss to Cedric Mullins. 0-1 is the count. Vesia on the bump facing Cedric here. And the 0-1 pitch to Mullins. That's a fly ball hit out over towards center field. Going back over towards the track is Pages, but he'll have room and he'll make the catch. Just not enough that time. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Dodgers get out of the jam. Freeman, Betts, and Muncy are going to come on up, and they will look to try to get some insurance against the Tampa Bay Rays. Other final scores that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned, okay, the Tigers, they destroyed the Astros today, and they ended up putting up a total of 9 runs in that ball game. They won 9-3 out at Dakin Park. The Tigers, that is. It looked like, so Colt Keith had himself 2 homers. He actually, did he hit 3? Colt Keith hit 3 homers in that ball game. He hit 2 later on. We saw 2, but he actually hit a 3rd one. His first one came in the 3rd. Wow. Colt Keith had a 3-homer ball game today. He went 3 for 4 with 3 homers and 6 RBIs. We've seen all 4. Right? Is that correct? All 4 of his homers? No, because he had 4 homers heading on into this. Or did he? No, we saw all 4 of his homers. That's crazy. Wow. I guess every time we do Diamond Zone, he's going to hit a home run. That's pretty crazy. But anyhow, he had 3 homers in that ball game and drove in 6 runs and was just a one-man wrecking crew in that ball game. The Astros, they did have Altuve homer. Isaac Paredes also homered as well. Dingler scored on the pass ball. Spencer Torkelson homered. McGonigal also homered as well. And Keith also got hit by a pitch. 3 hits, all of them were home runs by Colt Keith in that game against the Astros. Pretty insane. What else? The A's destroyed the Pirates today. The final score of that game was 11-2. And the A's put up 5 runs in the 7th, 3 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. In that ball game, Nick Kurtz went 3 for 4 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. Jeff McNeil also homered, and he went 3 for 4. 7, 8, and 9 hitters in that game for the A's ended up getting 7 hits. 7 hits in 12 at-bats. And they also put up 7 runs scored as well. So that's Butler, Bolts, and McNeil. Here's Freddie Freeman, and on the 1-0 pitch, he's going to line the fastball out over to right field for a base hit, and that'll get down for a leadoff single for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th inning. JT Ginn got the win today, and Jared Jones gave up 5 earned runs in 4 innings in that Pittsburgh Pirates game, and he ended up getting tagged on with a loss. What else? The Cincinnati Reds, they shut out the New York Mets today 12-0. The Mets got defeated by Chase Burns, who went 5 innings and he struck out 7. Here comes Betts to the plate, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. What's up, guys? Dr. Delay, thank you so much for the redirects. Let's go. Dr. Delay recap, redirect, bro. Like, I need a recap of that game. I didn't know that you were going to redirect. Wow, here's the pitch. Now it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th, Max Muncy is up. This is our final diamond of the game. What's up, Sam? How you guys doing? Chance is also here. Good to see you guys on here, man. The pitch. Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Reds, they shut out the Mets 12-0. 12-0. Tobias Myers gave up 7 earned runs. Steer homered. And Suarez also homered twice in that game. A lot of 2-homer games. The pitch. That's a fly ball hit out over towards right field. And that's going to be caught for out number 1. So Betts lines out to right. And Freeman goes back on over to first. Guys, make sure that you guys go follow Dr. DeLay. Dr. DeLay covers the Pittsburgh Pirates. He does an awesome job. That's my guy. Please make sure that you guys go subscribe to him. Doc, I'm really happy to see you on here, man. Here is Muncy. And Muncy looks at the curveball that is in the zone for a called strike. Gonna make sure that I drop your link down below. Our next episode of Diamond Zone is going to be on Wednesday. So make sure that you guys check that out. This is just T-ball for me. 0-1 pitch. Grounded over towards the right side. The throw over to first is in plenty of time. And that'll put Freeman over at second base right now. We got 74 people tuning on in. You guys are absolutely awesome. Funky Muncy. Funky Muncy. I like that. Crazy. The other game that I forgot to talk about, that was, yes, the Diamondbacks versus the Angels game. Pavin Smith had his first homer of the season. Nelson got the win. He's now 3-5. Sewell got his 18th save. He's been magnificent this year. Joe Adell had an RBI double. Trout also homered in the game. Gurriel had himself an RBI single. Marino also had an RBI single. And Perdomo had himself an RBI double. And Donovan Walton also homered in the 9th inning off of Paul Sewald. So that made it 4-3. And that's what the final score of that game was. And finally, the Twins, they won against the Texas Rangers. Josh Bell, Jock Peterson, and Byron Buxton all homered in that game. Rogers got the win, Gore got the loss, and Gomez got his 7th save of the season. So those are all the final scores, and then we still have this game left. It's 4-3 Dodgers. Tucker's up. He had a 3-run homer earlier in the ball game after the Rays were up by 3. He tied it up on 1 swing. First pitch. That's down for a ball. JJ, I'm going to head to bed. Thank you so much for being on here, my friend. Good to see you. 1-0. That's just inside for a ball. Can Dustin Lind help out some of the hitters for the Orioles? I don't know, man. No clue. You guys were off today, right? Yeah, you guys were off today. 2 balls, no strikes. So Kyle Tucker. 2-0 pitch. Popped up. Hit out over towards shallow left field. And there is Simpson, and they'll make the catch. And last chance for the Tampa Bay Rays as we go to the top of the 9th inning. All right. This is it. This is it. Final inning with our final diamond. Of course, my friend. Not only does he cover the Pirates, he also covers the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. And he also does the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he does college football. And he does other NFL games. And he does NL Central baseball. And I think I covered it all. And March Madness. There we go. Let's go, baby. Let's go! JJ, do you think that all the Major League sports are rigged and scripted? Says Cowie. I do. I need a sip of water first. 1 sip of water. Do I think that it's scripted? No. But, however, chats, I do think that when it comes to the major sports, there's always moments where you say to yourself, of course that's going to happen. So I can sort of understand why people say that wrestling is scripted, or like, you know, all sports, football, tennis, like, I can understand why people say that. But I don't think that they are. I do feel like, though, that there are definitely times where you just say to yourself, of course that's going to happen. Oh, I should have thought about that. You know, we play the Mariners and the Dodgers on the road. Ooh, man. Timestamp is here. Haven't seen you on all day. What's going on, man? Final one left to go, just like the Matrix, except with organized sports leagues. Ooh, that might be interesting. Tanner Scott is going to pitch 29 innings and a 2.48 ERA. He has 7 saves on the season. It's been overall very good. Obviously, when the Phillies faced him, didn't look so good against Edmundo Sosa and the Philadelphia Phillies. Top of the 9th, though. 3 outs left to go. Fortez's first pitch, that's grounded over to shortstop. Betts has it, throws it over to first in the backhand, and that's in plenty of time. Mookie Betts makes an excellent play over at shortstop. And there is 1 out. Well, WWE is scripted, everything else is not. That's true. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, if you could probably tell. But yes, WWE is actually scripted. So Betts gets the first out all by himself. And there's 1 gone. Walls' pitch. And the slider is in the zone for strike 1. Taylor is 0 for 2 with a sac, bunt, and an RBI. The 0-1 pitch. And that misses upstairs for a ball. It's only 12:43. This game is really not a long one. The 1-1 delivery to Walls. That's a called strike 2. And Walls will challenge. He thinks he has nothing left to lose. That was a strike. So Tampa Bay challenges, and that is a strike. 1-2 is the count. The 1-2 on the way to Walls. Check swing. Did he go? They say no. He did not. Walls is 0 for 2. He's 0 for 1 in his career against Tanner Scott. The 2-2 to Walls. And that's fouled out of play. When we do DiamondZone next, it'll be on Wednesday. There will be 7 different games going on. The 2-2 pitch, and that's down for ball 3. It'll be Red Sox and Jays at 6:45, followed up by White Sox, Yankees at 7:05. Time is called. Then you got Braves and Giants at 7:15. Brewers and Guardians at 7:40. Cubs and Rockies at 8:05. And Orioles and Mariners at 9:40, along with Pirates and A's at 9:40 as well. 3-2 pitch. That's a called strike 3. Can Walls challenge? I don't think he can. It looked a little bit low. And there's out number 2. Wow. They were out of challenges. That was down. But again, 2 away in the top of the 9th inning. Got to use your challenges wisely. And it's Yandy Diaz who's up. Last hope for the Rays. First pitch. Now that is called a ball. This will be challenged by rushing. And I can understand why. That was a little bit higher than the previous pitch. And that should be called a strike, and it will. 0-1 is the count. It's a good conversation. What I meant is favoritism by a specific team and how they only care about the money but not the fans, says Callie. Well, that's why people were so happy that the Eagles beat the Chiefs. You know? And, like, they absolutely destroyed them. 0-1 on the way, and that misses down and inside for a ball. I think that there's a little bit of that. I do. I don't know how much, but I do think that there's a little bit of that, like, favoritism there. The 1-1 to Diaz, that's in the dirt for ball 2, and the count is now 2-1. Diaz in the box. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That would have been ball 3. And so the count is now 2-2, and the Rays are down to their final strike. Scott trying to get the save. The 2-2 pitch grounded over towards the right side. Second baseman Rojas has it, throws it over to first. Diaz thought that he was safe, and that is going to do it. So, a 4-3 win for the Dodgers against the Rays. But hold up a second. Will they challenge? Will they challenge over at first? Looks like Diaz is going back over towards the dugout. Let's look at the replay again. Rojas threw it over to first. That was pretty close. But nope, he's out. He's out over at first, and the ball game is over, and so is the night of baseball. Rojas' solo home run in the 7th inning ends up being the difference of the ball game. Ring the bell. Let's go. Wow. Wow. Okay. That was pretty wild. That was pretty interesting. So, yeah, a lot of good baseball tonight. I will say that obviously the best game was that Cubs-Rockies game. That really had a lot of plot twists and turns, and that game really didn't even have a whole lot of action in the very beginning of the game, and then all of a sudden it just started to heat up. I think that ended up being the best game of the night. I would vote that as the game of the night. I don't know about you, but that was definitely something. The Diamondbacks game was also really good, and that ended up being really that also ended up being a nail biter as well. We got the very, very end of the Rangers game. Not really a bunch of action there. Again, Dustin May threw a one-hitter against the San Diego Padres. Colt Keith had a 3-homer game, and Pete Crow Armstrong had a cycle. Like, there were some good things that happened on this night in Major League Baseball. Kyle Tucker had a big-time 3-run home run. The Reds, they shut out the New York Mets. The Phillies shut out the Marlins. I mean, there were a lot of really interesting things that happened tonight, for sure. And that is going to wrap up the coverage for Diamond Zone tonight, because we did recap every other thing that happened. What I will say is this. Okay, so tomorrow, how the schedule looks is we will be on for the Phillies game at 6:40. The pitching matchup for that game We'll get it for you right now. Jesus Luzardo is going to be on the bump for the Philadelphia Phillies, and Tyler Phillips is on the hill for the Marlins. On Wednesday, the Phillies play in the afternoon. It'll be Andrew Painter versus Sandy Alcantara. We'll see how they do then. I don't really feel as good about that game. I feel much better about tomorrow. But hopefully they get a series win tomorrow, and let's focus on that first. But I do want to say that on Wednesday, okay, these are the games that we are doing on Wednesday night for DiamondZone. So we'll begin our coverage at 6:30 on Wednesday, okay? And how it's going to look, again, is this. I'm going to post the games right now. At 6:45, we got the Red Sox and the Blue Jays playing. Now, that also, the Diamondbacks are playing against the Angels at 3:40, so that might be... We might have to do the end of that game, too. Just wanted to let you know about that. The Yankees play the White Sox at 7:05 on Wednesday. So, again, Red Sox play the Blue Jays at 6:45. We'll be on at 6:30. And then we got Blue Jays and Red Sox at 6:45. We got Yankees and White Sox at 7:05. And then we got Braves and Giants at 7:15. Brewers play against the Guardians at 7:40. And then it'll be Cubs, Rockies at 8:05. A's and Pirates at 9:40. And Mariners and Orioles at 9:40 as well. And that is what DiamondZone is going to look like on Wednesday night. So make sure that you guys check that out. Those are the games that we are going to do. And we're going to have a lot of night games that night. You know, usually when we're doing the night games, like on Monday night, when there's a lot of games, we just get sort of thrown into the fire at first, because when we start at 10:30, it's like in the middle of the 10 o'clock games, and then it's like the end of the 8 o'clock games. So we'll have like a full slate of DiamondZone on Wednesday night, which will be really cool, and we'll get to see the whole thing play out. So, yeah, that'll be great. Thank you all again so much. If the schedule changes for tomorrow, I will let you know. I'm just going to do the Phillies game tomorrow, but if something does change, I will let you know. All right. I love you all very, very much. Lila Tov. Have a great rest of your night, and I will catch you all tomorrow for another day of Major League Baseball. Peace out. Good night, and Lila